Well, joining me for more now is a man who played a crucial role in the evolution of GST, and that's, of course, Amit Mitra, West Bengal's Finance Minister. Dr. Mitra, thank you for joining me. Sir, what's changed? As chairman of that council, you played such a crucial role in evolving that consensus the Finance Minister referred to. Now, Mamata Banerjee has called this an epic blunder, and your party will boycott tomorrow. What changed?
Well, first of all, let me submit to you that repeatedly in the GST Council on record in the last month and a half or so, I have been saying that we are not prepared to the point where this should not create chaos in the country. Give you an example. The return forms came in yesterday. These are tax return forms. They have come in yesterday. This is no way to do a world's largest fiscal reform. Example 2. Required details, say stock of goods. You have to constantly maintain stock of goods. This is going to open up Inspector Raj. We've been saying that the small and medium enterprises are just not ready. Give you a third example. GSTN, that is GST network of computer systems digitalized. Do you know how many invoices it will have to process per month? 300 crores a month. That means 3,600 crore per year. How much have they tested? They have tested to the shockingly 200 cases per state.
Right.
There are people who in West Bengal all over the country are trying to uplink. They are having problems. This happens with software, needs testing. So I repeatedly said on behalf of Mamata Banerjee and West Bengal, and many other finance ministers privately agreed, that we need to do this in a way that we are serious.
But Dr. Mitra, the finance minister reached out to you after you made this, called this an epic blunder after Mamata Banerjee. He said there will be teething problems. We've given time to file returns. I mean, how long will we actually wait for the implementation of this reform? As he put it, July 1st has been known as the launch date for a long time.
You see, if it was teething problem, I would say he's right. I have personally used a statistical package for social sciences in 1975. And I found glitches. Glitches is not an issue. Issue is big ticket unpreparedness. Today, why are the small and medium enterprises going into such a flap? Now, millions of pieces of data will have to be processed by a single network, uplinked by that small guy. I'll give you an example. We have created something called the composition scheme. Up to 75 lakhs of turnover, you may not want to be in GST tax brackets. You may want to pay 1% as trader, 2% as manufacturer, and 5% as restaurant owner. You know what is interesting is, what is given in there will create many, many problems for those who choose it. Did you know that there is an arrest clause that up to 2 crores and above, if anybody says there's a demand for tax for you, you can be arrested, but with bail. Now, a 5 crores and above is without bail. Now, VAT regime in which all of us are in the states do not have an arrest clause. We file an FIR, and you know, in 6 years of my being finance minister, only 2 FIRs we have filed. Only 2. Because it's hands off. And here you're bringing into GST, giving powers to arrest business people. This needs to be thought through more carefully. I gave my dissenting note on it.
Well, we have Hasmukh Adhia, Revenue Secretary, who's told us that, the traders don't have to worry about this clause, but that's an important point you're making. But let me ask you, Dr. Mitra, when the GST bills were passed, when state assemblies after state assemblies, including West Bengal, passed this, this was hailed as a victory of Team India. It showed that the entire political class of India could put together individual differences for the good of the country. Is it not churlish then for the Trinamool Congress, other opposition parties to boycott this tomorrow? Are we not nitpicking here?
Well, you see, all of us would have been there together because we have all made it happen together. Nobody needs to seek credit. Everybody is credited. But provided we are ready for it, where 80% of the employment of India by small and medium enterprises are crying aloud, saying, we are not ready. Hello, give us some time. How much training has taken place, Sonia ji? You need to train them. You need trainers. I want to know how many trainers have been trained. Who in turn will go and train the business? Very little. So we are talking about a few months, sometime with a focused effort, then we are all together as Team India. But not physically, Jabardast. Karna hi hai 1st of July. Why? This looks like one of those demonetization which nobody knew about. And at the end of the day, fourth quarter GDP fell to 6.1%, losing probably 3 lakh crores of GDP because Jabardasti.
So you're comparing this GST to demonetization in a sense. You've also made a comparison that we're trying jugaad like an Indian wedding, but isn't it a fact that Indian weddings always somehow make it on time and it's all's well that ends well, if you use the Indian wedding comparison?
You see, they make it on time, ma'am, because it's a law of small numbers. Here you're talking about millions and billions of transactions. They cannot be done by jugaad. That's my submission. And I'm very worried that Mamata Banerjee said in her Facebook yesterday, this may lead to chaotic conditions, which is not good for the country. It may be okay for the state. We will get our compensation for our revenue. We sit back and say, okay. No, GST is for the whole nation. That is the idea.
Dr. Mitra, thank you so much for joining me there with your apprehensions. And of course, you headed that executive council, which evolved that consensus on GST. So an important voice, but let's see what happens from Saturday morning onwards.